Hi everybody, June here from Red Daisy Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm a couple minutes late. I had a little bit of technical issues, so I'm just going to make sure that everything is showing up fine on the Facebook page. Looks like everything is working good. So I can put my phone aside and we will, let me just turn this off and we will get started. So we're going to be playing with some of the alternate ideas that I have for Warm Wishes Paper Pumpkin for November. Before I do, I just want to remind you all that we're about 7 days away from signing up for the January Paper Pumpkin. And so if you want to get that kit, be sure that you've subscribed. If you are not a subscriber today and would like to become a subscriber, there is a link below in my description. And I would love to have you sign up with me as your demonstrator. And if you would use that link, I would be grateful. So last week we played around with the houses that were in the kit. And, we used on here the tear and tape. But I can tell you, like, all week long, I keep having to reattach it. So I went ahead and got myself some of these Velcro dots. And I'm just going to show you, even though I've already got the tear and tape on there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this one's already coming up here. And it doesn't take much at all for that to come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place one side of the glue dot right over the tear and tape on here. And then I'm going to do it on the other side in the same spot. Now, actually, my tear and tape is down here. That's where it decided to stay attached. So I am now peeling off the other side of the adhesive cover. And then I'm going to close this up just like we did the first time, just making sure I have things lined up. And now I'm just going to press firmly down on here, and I think this is going to have a much better hold. And I could tell you I did the larger box earlier today and no issues whatsoever. It's holding very well. So if you do not have any of those little Velcro dots, I highly recommend it. These are the ones I have are like a 1/2 inch. And that's great for most projects. So, because you're going to get a bunch in the package. So I just wanted to quickly show you that from last week. That's one of the things that I found that could be better. So just wanted to pass that on to you. Thanks everybody for watching today. Please, leave your name. Let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to be able to chat with you. And then we'll continue here. This is the card we made last week as the alternate, and it's a gatefold card. It's a little bulky, and so it doesn't want to close very good, but it will fit in an envelope. And I love this card. I think it came out really cute. You can see last week's video for that on how I put that card together. You could put a belly band around this, and I may do that before I send it, but ultimately it's perfectly fine. It's going to set up and stand up great, and they're going to see the gorgeous little house on the inside, and you have this on the outside. And so there is no sentiment on the outside. Everything's on the inside with love, and then on the back, special deliveries and a place for you to write a note. So that's the card we made last week. And this week, I've got a couple things in mind. We're going to do some more fun fold things, and we're going to get started pretty easily with to do like a Z fold. I think is what this would be called. And I want to show you the pieces that I have cut off of here. Let's see if I can get them all back. I think that's everything. Maybe one more piece here. Yeah. One more. Is that it or no? No, I think I threw out one of the pieces, but basically, the house, when it comes, you have this whole sheet. You have like 2 roofs here that have a fold line, and then there's 2 score lines here to make up the whole piece that is wrapping around the tree, right? And I love that there's houses on both sides. And so all we're doing here is I've cut some of this apart. So I have cut off the extra roof line. Okay. So like that. All right. So I cut that apart. I did cut this little centerpiece out. That's the piece I can't seem to locate. I may have already thrown it out. And then you have the other piece. So I literally just cut those pieces out. Now I did leave myself like an extra 1/4 of an inch here past the score line on this house. So just to give it some ground below the house. And in case you're wondering that, but that's the simple cuts that I made on this house. And so I'm going to put these aside, and yeah, we're going to work on this one. So we are making a bit like a Z fold card. And so I have a piece of cherry cobbler. Let me go ahead and move this. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry you were searching for so long. I did get a bit of a late start because I had some technical issues. I couldn't get it to attach. It's been happening in the last few weeks off and on. And I'm just going to have to get in the habit of completely shutting down and restarting before I try the live. Seems to work once I do that. So I'm so sorry you were searching, but I'm really glad you're here. So thanks for joining today. And so I'm going to go ahead and put us down to the table. Whoops, wrong one. There we go. All right. So I have, again, we're going to make a Z fold. So this is a 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. This is cherry cobbler. It is scored at 4 1/4 on the 8.5 side of the cardstock. Then on just 1/2 of the cardstock, you're going to also score at 2 1/8. Okay, which is basically a half of a 4 1/4. Okay. So you're going to score at 2 1/8, then again at 4 1/4, and this is how it's going to fold, like this. Okay. So that's that piece. Then I am using from the Very Cute DSP, this nighttime sheet, which is on the back of the stars pattern paper. It never sends out a notification anymore. Huh. That's interesting. Well, I'm so sorry about that. I'll have to look into that. I don't know if there is something else that I can do so that you would get notified. Um, yeah, I don't know. All right, so we are using the DSP again from Very Cute, and this has got like a nighttime sky look, and it's like I said, it's on the back of this. It also has below it are some icebergs and some polar bears in water. So that's down at the bottom of that sheet. And so this piece is cut at 2 inches by 5 3/8. Okay. So I'm just taking 1/8 of an inch off of the top. Well, I am happy you found me too. Thank you. And then this piece is 4 inches by 5 3/8. Okay. So we're going to use this to just, fill up the sky in a sense behind the house. And one piece is going to go inside and the other piece is going to go right out here like this. All right. And like I said, it's just, you're just going to have like really, you know, very small border around your cardstock. Okay. So I'm just going to give you the lay of the land just so that you know what we're doing before we go further. And then this house is going to get put down onto here. Now, I will tell you, I think I mentioned this last week, that the edge to edge, the house, it is literally 4 1/4 and maybe a smidge. So I did just trim, a hair off of each side just to make sure it was in the cardstock. Basically, now it's edge to edge um, of this, so that was not a problem. And so we're going to be putting this down, and it is going to go all the way to the bottom of the blue night sky that we are going to be putting onto the cardstock. So you will see just a smidge of the crumb cake at the bottom, and you're only going to glue this side to this side of it, so that basically when we open it, it's going to open like that. Okay. All right. And so then on the inside of here, we're going to have a little piece that we're going to put in that will be hidden for your sentiment and things like that. And so that's kind of the gist of it, of what we're doing today. And I'm really excited to have you here. So please say hello. And if you were having difficulty finding me today, I'm sorry. I had some technical issues, so I appreciate you searching and finding me. So, all right. So this piece is going to go right, like I said, you're just going to have a very tiny border all the way around the piece of paper. This again is the Very Cute paper. It's like a night sky on the top, and the bottom has water and icebergs with polar bears. And so I just basically took this off the top part of it. And so now we have this one we're going to put on the inside of the card base. So I will have to look into why you guys are not getting notifications. Now, I do know that in the group, I don't think I can do a event. And so an event would normally give you that indicator as well. And so that could be part of it, because I am not streaming to my page anymore. It's only on the group. And so basically that could also be part of the issue. So I'll just have to do some research. So as you can see, like I said, there's just a very narrow edge on here, okay? And there you have that little night sky paper. Just gives a dark sky to this. All right. And then let's put our house down. And this I want to put all the way to the bottom of the blue. I don't want it to be floating in the air. And so we're just going to put that all the way down to the bottom of that blue paper on the line. So you still will see just a little bit of this cherry cobbler down at the bottom. So, and again, it's only needs to go on this side of the paper. And we want to make sure that we get it over properly so that this side isn't poking out. So you just want to make sure that, we're getting it centered properly so that that doesn't cause an issue when you start to put your card into an envelope. So essentially we're just going to go on this side of the card, and I'm just going to put a little bit down here like this, and I know that will spread. I do a little bit down here because I went past that score line and I want to make sure that doesn't cause any issues. So I am just making sure for my placement that I am all the way over where I want to be, and that I'm all the way to the bottom of that blue page for both sides evenly, that it's going all the way across here. And then I'm just going to press down and make sure that the house gets put on there firmly. Now, I guess I could have come over a little bit more with my glue, but I think this is going to be sufficient. I just wanted to make sure that we don't have any glue poking out the back. Now, some people might be bothered by this and want to cover it up. I'm not going to worry about that today. I think the colors go fine, that it's not necessarily out of place, and that this is going to be how the house looks. Somehow this got tilted. Never seems to fail when I'm smoothing out my glue. I'm still moving. It's the one thing I like about the glue, but I also tend to move things accidentally. All right, so we're going to be putting this on the inside of here, and I think we can center it, and that it will still, it's going to pop up here. So let's see, we might need to put it down a bit, or in... Let's see if we're able to center it by being scooted in. I wonder if I just move it all the way to that edge. And I wonder how I feel about that. So if I want to put it all the way to the edge like that. Or I could trim some off and have it centered. Let's see. What do we have? So it's about 1/4 of an inch. I don't really want to trim it, but I guess I could. I could just take a little edge off of here. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just take a little corner off. So I'm just going to trim a little corner off here. So, but I'm wanting to make sure that I do it evenly and that it doesn't look funny. So what I've done is I've lined up my corners, my catty corners, on the same line here. I'm going to do it on this line here. So this is at 2 inches. Let's see. If I have both the corners at 2 inches, I'm going to just cut off that much and then it's going to be even on both sides like that. So I think that that's going to work out just fine for this, and that doesn't bother me so much. And then I can still center it in here as I was planning. So yeah, that's going to work out just fine. Okay. So all I did was line up these two at the same line on the print on the cutter, and before I trimmed this off. Okay. So, and I use this at 2 inches. This piece itself is, for your information, 4 inches by 3 inches. Okay. To go on the inside of here. And, so I think we can glue this down. I just want to make sure that I have it right. That's up a little. Yeah, that's going to be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down on the inside. Yeah, I could do it on both sides. I think I'm fine with it on the one. I really didn't want to trim any off, but I want it to not poke out. So I think that this will work out just fine. And that'll be just fine. So just making sure I have things straight, and that looks pretty good there. Hey, Wanda, thanks for joining. All right, so there's our little roof line, and the inside of there. I think that looks good. All right, so I guess I should have done this beforehand, but I do want to stamp something in here. And let's see. I think I want to put 'Tis the Season. I think I'll just put it down here in the corner. And I'm going to use Mossy Meadow to kind of pull in this color over here. And also going to put the little dog that's running down here. So let's just put him right here like that. And then we're going to put 'Tis the Season right next to him. There we go. Just like that. Okay. And then let's color him in. Let's see. I know I have my markers here. So let me get my markers. I have a bit of an avalanche, I feel like, next to me, because I've stacked so many things up that I want to be able to access. It's funny. I know I'm not the only one that does this. So let's see. Okay, we have the pumpkin pie. Let's color him in a pumpkin pie, I think. Or do I want to use crumb cake? Maybe I'll use crumb cake so he's not so dark. Okay, let's do that. All right, so I'm not doing anything fancy here. He's just getting full on color. It's just to bring in a little more. Now, I do not want to color over his scarf. We're going to color that a different color. So I'm just doing his little body. Okay. And I'm not doing the little letter. Okay. So there we have it. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of this pumpkin, pecan pie, excuse me, not pumpkin, and just do a bit of markings on here. to add a little bit of dimension. So I didn't do much. You can see it's just a little bit of markings around him. And then let's do some coloring with Old Olive. Let's do a scarf with Old Olive. I think that's what I have here. Yeah. And then we're going to color the envelope of red and cherry cobbler, just because at the holiday time envelopes are colored, right? So just, being really careful not to completely get outside of the lines or make it look funny. But plus the Old Olive is a little bit lighter than the Mossy Meadow that we used to stamp down. So there's our little dog. Cute. Such a cutie pie. That little fella. So when you open it up, you have that inside, okay? And a place to put your message. So let me just put this back in here. And put our markers away. I love the new markers. I don't know if you know or not, but they changed the tip on these. Let me see if I could get it in a good spot for you. So it used to be like a little pen top, but now it's like a little bullet end. And I really like it so much better. I felt like the pen was never working properly. And so that was always kind of frustrating. All right, so now we're going to use this little fun circle, and I'm going to find my twine because I know I have some out here. That's too big. Here it is. That's from the kit. All right, so we're going to use some twine on here to tie, or not really tie it on, but just make it look like it's tied on to the card. All right, but here we're going to put with love, because I like that sentiment. I just love the font of it and everything. So we're going to, again, use the Mossy Meadow and just stamp this right on there like that. And then we will get that tied on. And that's going to be kind of the whole card. So I'm going to just do a bow on here, and we'll attach it with a glue dot. And kind of like, let's see if we can straighten some of this out so it's not so all over the place. But let's see here. If we can get kind of a floppy bow. There we go. That's going to be nice. All right, so we're going to put our bow. Well, first we're going to put this on with a dimensional. And let me get my things out here. All right, so let's get a dimensional from here. All right, so we just need one, and we'll put this down onto the card just up here like that. And then we're going to add this with the glue dot. So I'm just putting that right onto the bow. Okay. And then I'm kind of curling that up there. and it's going to go right there. So we have kind of a floppy bow, all right, that says, with love, 'tis the season. I love it. And so that's like a super simple card that you can make. And I mean, honestly, if you did that, you could make 16 of these, and you could just use Knight of Navy back here if you wanted. You don't have to use the DSP. I just have it, and so it made sense to use that. So tell me what you think in the comments. Do you like this card? Is this something you could repeat? Is that something you can get your arms around and have some fun with? I think it's a great little alternate card, and still fun to receive. Okay, and so that is our first one today. All right, then the next card I have for you is going to also be with the other half of this house, and we are going to create a easel card. Okay, and for this card, I'm also using the Very Cute DSP. And I decided to use this forest paper. But to do our easel card, you need a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock. This is real red. And so we're going to do some scoring on here. Again, oh, that's still here. Let's get that out of the way. So again, we're going to do basically the exact same scoring that we did last time, okay? And do I have that right? Let me just make sure here that that's gonna, okay, we just may have to do a little bit of trimming. Okay, all right, so we are going to score this at the 5 1/4, like always, to fold it in half. And so we're getting that scored. All right, then again, we're going to do the 2 1/8. So I'm just backing it up and doing it 2 1/8. It doesn't really matter which side you do it on, because the fold could be the same. So we're scoring at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Okay. And so we're going to fold this over like this and burnish that edge really good. And then we're going to fold this one in. Okay. And I'm going to burnish this edge. Okay. So it's almost like it's going to be on the inside, but it's not really. It's going to be up like this. Okay. So it's going to look like this. So that's the easel. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. All right. So I'm just going to get a little water. And then we can continue. So, all right. So that's the scoring for our easel card. Now, what I want to make sure of is that our house fits. Okay. And so the house is a little bit tight. And so we have about 1/8 of an inch that we need to get rid of. So I think I can take a good amount of it off of the bottom of the house. And so let's just go ahead and see what we can do here. So the problem here is that maybe we can do it this way. That'll be easier. All right, because it's hard to get the edge of the house up against the edge of the trimmer. Okay, so I'm just using the edge of the house there. And I want to see if I can take off this 1/8 of an inch right here, and see if that just takes care of the whole problem. So I still have the windows at the bottom. of the house and a little bit below that. So I think it's going to be okay, but let's see if that makes it. That is perfect. Okay. So now that's how this is going to go. All right. And now we can figure out the rest of it. So this piece is going to go inside here. And I decided to use this forest paper because this house could be in the forest. Right. And so I think that is what I decided. It was okay to do that. All right. And so this piece here, which is on the red kind of fair isle, I think is what they call it. This kind of a pattern, kind of fair isle. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. And so this is the forest side of it. So let's see what I have here because I can't remember. But I have 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So we're just getting a very small edge around the paper. Okay. And this is kind of going landscaped. All right. Then this piece is going to go here. Also in the same direction as the inside. See, they're going in the same direction, the paper. So the orientation of the paper, I should say. So that is what is happening here. And because it's going to sit up like this. All right. So it's going to sit up like that. All right. So and then this house is going to get put right onto here, like so. But it's only going to be glued down at this end so that when you prop it up, you have the house standing up like that. So cute, cute, cute easel card. All right. And like I said, what we have trimmed this down to is the 4 1/4 inches right here, so that it fits perfectly onto the card. All right. And then there's no issue with the sides of the house where I have had to like shave a little bit off because there's no problem with that. So see, that's like 4 1/4 and like literally in between the 4 1/4 mark and the 4 5/16 mark. So hard to call it out, but that's that piece of it. So let's go ahead at least and let's put these items down for now. And let's see what we come up with from there. So I'm just trying to get this lined up just so that it's looks tidy. And so that looks good right there. And then this piece is going to go outside here like so. And it's going to go right on here. Okay. How's everybody doing this weekend? Have y'all had a good weekend? The weather here is beautiful. It's been in the 60s. It's just been lovely. I think it was maybe up to 70 today. It's just beautiful outside. One of my favorite weather reports today. So that's so great. All right. Now, this is going to go right on here and it's going to go all the way to the edge. Okay. So all the way to the edge of the cardstock. And I can see here that I'm going to want to put glue down all the way to the top of, not the top of the shutter, but like maybe about 1/4 of an inch below it. So I'm just going to do it a little bit lower than 1/4 of an inch here on the back, putting the glue. So I'm in 1/4 of an inch down from that roof line. Okay. And so that's going to go on here. And I'm just going to push it down to the table so that it is even with the card base. And that is how that card's going to go. I just think this is so cute and whimsical because of the bigger like pieces behind it. So like the animals and everything, like they're out of proportion, but I love that it places the house in a forest to a degree. And then you have the complementary colors coming out. And so I really like how this looks. And it just looks really good to me. All right, so now I want you to have a place to write a sentiment. So we're going to put a piece of white cardstock inside here, okay, because this is going to get, that's how it'll go in the mail, like that. And then this is going to get propped up. So behind here, you'll have a piece of white cardstock to be able to write a sentiment. So let's go ahead and stamp something here. And let's see, what do we want in here? Special delivery. I don't know about that one, but let's put warm wishes from our home. No, I want that for the outside. I guess let's do 'Tis the Season again inside, and that'll work out just fine. So we're using Real Red here, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Real Red ink for this sentiment. I don't know if I cleaned this or not, so let's just do that really quick. When I used it earlier, I did not, so good call, June. Good call. All right, so here we go with this. Let's just put it right in the center. There we go. And that way you can write a note around it. It's not a lot of room, but enough to write a little note. All right, so that's going to go on the inside of here, like so. You can always decide to use some different sentiment stamps at home if you have something different that you'd prefer to use. That's just fine. I'm just trying to stick with the stamps from the November set. So that's going to be on the inside. All right. And now we're going to have this right here, and it's going to prop up. So I love this because we have the house, you know, it's going to look like the house is extending. I think that's really cool. And so we're going to use one of the little white strips here that I have to put this down like that. And so I believe the warm wishes is going to fit perfectly on there. So let's stamp that. So I just cut this. It's 3/4 of an inch by 3.5. And we're just going to do this right in the center. And there we go. We're going to need to clean a couple of those things. All right, so then this is going to get glued onto here, just like that. And then we will put the crumb cake piece into the card with dimensionals. And it's going to be like the kick stop. for the card. Okay. And so that's going to go right there, like so. All right, so then we're going to put some dimensionals on here. So let me get those back out here. And probably don't need this many, but that's what I'm doing. And so let's see. This is going to go right down here in the center, like this. Let's see if I can get it even better. Lining up my grid 3 and 3. There we go. Just like that. Okay. And so then there's the card that will stand, it'll stand up like that. And there you see is our easel card. Now, we could do a couple things here if we wanted to extra. So we have our extra roof line, which could be added with dimensionals to pop this up and just give more dimension to this card, which is not a problem because we don't have any dimensionals on this side of the card. So it wouldn't necessarily cause a bunch of issue with the post office. So that is definitely an option. Okay. You could have found something cute here. I guess we could have put the dog running across there if we wanted to, or found something else to put in there. We could tie some linen thread. I think I like that idea. Let me see before I cut it. All right, so let's see. We could tie some linen thread just around here a couple of times just to give it a little texture. So let's see about this. I want to make this side just a little bit longer. There we go. So now, yeah. So I'm just tying a little bow up here and making it a bit loopy. And then I'll just trim this one edge off. Oh, I must have glue on my scissors. It's getting caught up. Gonna have to clean those. All right, so there we have it. We could even put in some, in here, along here, just to add to it. We could even still add this with dimensionals. Let's do that. That looks like it would be fun. And even add to where we put the linen thread as a little bit of festive. We can scoot it down just a little there. Let's see. All right, let's get these covers off and see how that goes. So with this, you just want to do it a smidge up from the one below it, since you don't necessarily need it to be perfect. And so it's just a little bit higher up here at the top. And so there you have it. All right, so now we have our little house that has some little shadowing under the roof line, which looks so much more real. And then as the house comes down, we have the crumb cake carrying the house down to our message, warm wishes from our home to yours. And on the inside, it says, "'Tis the season," which I just think is cute. And then this would go inside your regular envelope. You would not need to use the 5x7 envelopes for this. You could just simply use your regular A2 envelopes. And so I just think that's so cute. And literally, I would take these cards and do the same thing with the blue ones, with the blue house. So, in other words, this house, we could do the exact same cards with this house. And on this card, I just realized what we forgot is to put the little wreaths onto the house. So we need 5 of these to put on here. And I think I have my mini dimensionals out here somewhere. At least I thought I did. Where are they? Oh, well. They are using the full size. I just don't think it needs a full size. It seems overbearing, but we can do it. And do whatever we want. Isn't that right? Another adorable card. Thank you, Wanda. I love that. Makes my day. All right, so we're going to add the little wreaths to the window here, and that's just going to make that card even cuter. See if I can get my wreath straight. That one's a little crooked. The wind blew it, right? The wind blew it. All right, let's see here. And how's everybody doing? Are you getting ready for Christmas? I've been in a vendor event this weekend. It's kept me pretty busy. It's going pretty good. That's nice. There we go. Oh, that made it. That made it. So cute. I love that little dog. All right. So we had a Z fold. All right. And that'll just stand up like that. All right. And then we have an easel card here as well. So 2 really cute cards. And I just thank you so much for joining me today and having some fun crafting together. And I hope that you have a great rest of your weekend and a fabulous week ahead. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday on the 10th for more alternate ideas with the Warm Wishes paper pumpkin. And don't forget, the 10th is the deadline to sign up for the December paper pumpkin. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.